Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Hope everyone's had a good week. Remember to put the music on this time. Yeah, last week was alright, with obviously a day off with the bank holiday, 2 of them last month. But then again, that's 2 days of no money coming in. And then there was 2 days where I couldn't work as well. And that was because, I think I said it on the last live, there was a part I ordered. It was the wrong size, even though I double checked. So when I took my water purification machine apart, I just had to wait 2 days for the correct size bit to come along. So I lost 4 days. One more day on top of that. It's a full week, isn't it? So basically it was a 3-week month almost. There's a couple of days extra, I suppose, but made it through. Job done. Spent some money on replacement parts, new membrane, resin, so that was a bit expensive, and I've spent some more as well today already, so we'll see. And plus I've done something to me back. It was hurting again. It was really hurting yesterday, so I've got to find out what's gone wrong there. I'm not going to work tomorrow, so that means I've lost Friday's work. That's going into next week. That's £471 that day, so I'm going to be minus that. I've got a lot of work booked in for the month, so I'm hoping if I take a day's rest tomorrow, just double make sure I don't put me back out and get through the month, and it'll be a good takings for me. It's what I've been needing the last 2 months, but there's always been something going wrong. But that's life, innit? That's window cleaning. So yeah, just hope everyone else has got by and had a good month. I'll just welcome a few people because you've already commented quite early as well. If I can find the right button. Here we go. Hi Mark, you alright mate? How's it going? You alright Matt? Watched your video? You alright Neil? How's it going mate? You got all them stuff from X-Line? That sounded like you've spent some money already this week as well, mate. You alright, Ched? How are you, mate? Hi, James. Oh, Ched, I went. It's a Spectrum one that X-Line do. It's 40/40 membrane. So it's 270 quid. That's including VAT. And then you got post and packaging on there, so it's 280 something quid, I think, pushing towards the £300 anyway. Hi View Pure Window Cleaning, you alright mate? Thanks for coming in. I haven't looked as far as looking at Tuesday. I was just looking at yesterday. I've been thinking today it sounded quite windy outside. It's been windy during last week as well. I think it was Friday was me Coningsby day. Sorry, just let me look on Squeegee on my phone. No, sorry, it's Thursday, last Thursday. That's the one where I do me 100-mile round trip window cleaning all up into Lincolnshire to a place called Coningsby. And yeah, it was windy. It got gusts up to 35 miles an hour. But luckily it was dry. So the windows were drying off and there wasn't much grit going on the windows at all. So I haven't driven that far. I just said to Matthew, we just got to go for it. So we got it done. Couldn't afford not to lose that day's work, to be honest. So yeah, the weather. There's always something in there. I've just seen your comment, Ched. And you need a new membrane soon too. Just bear with us. So I'm just having to come out of these buttons. Don't want to end the stream by mistake. Right, just let me find the one I got for you, Ched, just in case you're wondering. Yeah, so it's a 40/40 RO membrane. This is the one I get from X-Line. So it's a low pressure membrane. It's done by Spectrum. That's the make. You can see it's £270 including VAT, and then your postage and packaging on top of that. No worries, Ched. Food's important, mate. Have a good week, buddy. That's the membrane I got anyway. Sorry, just another comment coming in. Third Eye Cleaning Services. Blimey, I've actually made it to alive, so I won't have to watch the catch up tomorrow. Nice one, mate. Yeah. Sunday's normally a day for me where I'm busy turning my van round, so I like to give it a clean inside and out. And then I take kit out, re-clean all that, put it back in, do me maintenance on my pole, and then hoover the inside the van out. The full works basically to get it nice. That's the only good thing about this time of year is once you've washed it by the end of the week, it still looks relatively clean. Whereas obviously in the winter you clean it and then within the first 2 cleans of the house it just looks like you've never cleaned it. So that's the good thing about this time of year. So yeah, I expect everyone's busy doing that sort of stuff on a Sunday. Yes, mate, I know that everything, it's not just X-Line, is it? Everything's gone up in price. Isn't it funny? Us men sort of notice it on the practical things like window cleaning kit. And then if you have this conversation with Mrs., they'll just tell you about the shopping bill, which goes up really regularly throughout the year, doesn't it? That's also that's what your customers putting up with. But yeah, the price of everything's going up. Kind of undoes all your price increases really quick, doesn't it? Mark's just saying, I was thinking about you when I was driving up the M11. Oh, was you coming near us or something, were you, Mark? And James is just saying, I'm on the M11 tomorrow, funny enough, and he thought of me as well when looking at the map. Cheers, guys. Yeah. I mean, like Matt said, when we chat over Facebook Messenger sometimes to each other, like during the week, and Matt checks in on me if I'm a bit quiet. And yeah, I'd said before, like I thought, as long as I made me money, I could take a day off work, give Matthew the day off, and I'll pop down to one of you lads and spend a day like working with you and just kind of like film it in on my YouTube channel as a day with so-and-so. Don't quite know how to work that one, but obviously it's just nice sometimes to mix it up, isn't it? Have someone for the day if you're working on your own all the time. But obviously I don't want to be a hindrance. It's more of a try and speed you up, but we can have a chat, and I don't know how you'd film that, but I think just film mainly the chat, a little bit of window cleaning, and perhaps let people talk about their setups, their vans, and just a general chit chat about window cleaning, really, you know what I mean? Thought it'd be a good way, good social thing as well. As long as I make me money for the month, that's something I've thought of doing. Just put it in the comments below if you all sort of think that's a good idea. Matt does, and I don't think it's a bad idea. Alright, Jamie, Tower Pro Clean back at it again tomorrow. Where does that 2-hour weekend go? Yeah, flies by, doesn't it? There's always something. I mean, a couple of weeks ago I wanted to jet wash around our house. My in-laws live with me, they're in an annex, separate annex, and they've paid for like a patio area, block paving. It's probably big enough to put a car and a little bit on it, and I want to really clean that up. So I was practicing using a Karcher. So all I got is a Karcher, but with hypo. It done brilliant on the bits I practice on. And this weekend I wanted to hammer out stuff in the bottom of the garden, but before that I had to spray down weed killer. I haven't got round to it because the weather's been against us, and then my back's played up this weekend, so I've just made sure I'm resting. So if there's time during the week here in the evenings, I'm going to do that, spray weed killer around in the areas that need it, let it do its thing, and then maybe jet wash some little bits, put the hyper down, rinse off. It's really good. I was enjoying it. But yeah, there's always something going to do, isn't there? There's always admin. Oh, right, yeah, he's come back from Belgium. Remember you saying he was going away? You have a nice time up there then, did you, Mark? Plenty of chocolate? Neil's just saying, let me know when you're coming. I'll book you in some windows. Yeah, everyone does it. Books in extra work or tries to catch up or get ahead. Hey, that'd be all right anyway, wouldn't it? Always busy, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I would go down to Plymouth as well. Just got to make sure the bank's all right. So GG2 Deadly saying would be interesting. I think it would. Just be great, wouldn't it? Just having blokes just chatting away in the van, that sort of thing, and just talking. All about, hopefully, window cleaning. And it'd just be interesting for everyone to see what each other do and everyone else, because we all do things differently. And it's also done for a good reason most of the time. Well, it will be all the time, won't it? Yeah, Mark's saying best to pick a quiet day so you can have like a video and a catch up. Unless you're Neil, obviously he's going to book loads of extra cleans in for you. Or for me. Yeah. I suppose it's always best to get towards near the end of the month, see what the old bank balance is. And then I can give Matthew a day off and I'll just travel down. Travel down early, get there ready to start for 8 or whatever. And then just see how the day goes. Like I say, and have a chit chat and everything. I think it'd be good. It'd be different, wouldn't it? Oh, you're right, mate. I remember speaking to you, yeah, on, is it email or messenger? I can't remember now. Saying your TDS is around 460, that's high. Which filter system would you recommend to fit on my tank behind my van? Ooh, right, hang on, mate. I'll show you what I've got, and then I'll obviously come back to everyone else in the comments. That's really high, mate, the TDS. Mine's 360. But this should be okay. Obviously, I've got my kit from X-Line. You don't have to get it from X-Line. You can get it from other people. But this is the system I've got. So it produces 2,000 gallons per day. In a 24-hour period, that's with everything running at optimal conditions. And it's reverse osmosis. It's got pre-filters. And they've also got a DI resin. So that's what you're going to need. So it's so high, you're going to need RO, reverse osmosis, and DI, deionization. It's probably best, whoever you go through, mate, with your supplier, rather than buying it, because it's going to be expensive. In fact, the one I'm showing is not the one, well, yes, I'll come into it in a minute. But I'd speak to your supplier, mate, whoever you're going to go for, or phoning round. But I would get what your tap water pressure is. So get a pressure gauge that you can screw into an outside tap. Get the reading of that. And then with a TDS meter, which you can buy online, about 25 quid. Don't get a cheap one from eBay and all that kind of stuff, because they'll just not be accurate. So something like this. So TDS meter, which I expect you've already got, because you've got your TDS reading from your tap anyway. So yeah. As long as you've got your TDS reading from your tap and what the water pressure is from the tap you're going to use to feed your system, they will advise you on what else you need, mate. So I hope it makes sense what I'm going to say next, because obviously what we're looking at here is £999, but you can add on extra features because you'll need them. Don't know where they are on here, but I'll show you the one I've actually got. So the one I've got is costing just over 1,500, but it's saying here with VAT it's £1,857.60p. So that's how much my system would cost now. It was cheaper than that when I brought it, because that was like 7 and a bit years ago now. But that's what I've got. And this picture up here in this grey box has got some extra add-on stuff. So what's in here, mate, is what it's on about with this auto fill, auto flush. And also a bit more money we need to go on top of that, because there's some other stuff. So The autofill, auto flush just means it's going to flush through the membrane automatically for you. You don't have to manually do it, because my system's going to be not on my tank. It's not in my van. Excuse me. It's in a shed, and it's filling up a 1,000 litre IBC tank, which I brought for £50, got it delivered, but I had to clean it up. So that's my holding tank. And the reason I've done it that way is so that when I come home with my van and fill up, I can drive straight off, and it's going to start refilling the holding tank and making water. So when I come back at night, I can instantly refill it up again. And if I had to come home and plug a hose into my van, I've then got to sit there for about 4 hours till my tank's full. So by transferring it from a holding tank into the tank in my van, it can be done in 5-10 minutes, and then I'm straight out. So maybe look at getting a static system rather than fixed to the tank in your van. Again, phone up for advice off your suppliers and stuff like that. And then talk about this auto flush system. It basically helps protect your membrane so it lasts longer by flushing it through. You can do it manually, but you have to be there. Automatic, it does it without me being there while it's working, filling up my holding tank, if that makes sense. And then also, because my tap pressure is really low, it's like 25 psi, which is poor. I think it was less than that actually. It was just under 20. It's I had to get a booster pump, so it boosts the pressure of the water into my system so that the membrane works efficiently. So that's another expense. They're normally a couple £100. And also with the machine I've got, that's automatic, so it turns on, turns off, because it's got the autofill function. So like the whatever it's called, I can't remember, I'm not good at DIY, where it knows when to stop filling up because the water pushes something up and it just turns the switch off. So hopefully that kind of like helps, mate. I'm not sure, but you definitely want something like that. And also on my system, because my TDS is 360, yours is higher, 460, I was having issues about my membrane not lasting long because they're expensive to change. And it was recommended for me to get a water softener, so it softens the water before it goes into my system. And that cost me £400, like about 5 years ago or something like that, 4 or 5 years ago. So it's going through that stage before it goes through the filtration unit. So that was another expense, but in the long term it's really cost effective. So again, look at them sort of options, mate, and speak to your supplier. I would phone round as well. So I just catch up on some comments. James saying I'm always welcome in Warwickshire. Doesn't have to be an interesting day, it'll be a different day, won't it, for what we're all used to. Be nice just to have a little chat with someone and see their setup and just talk how they got into window cleaning, how they're finding it, that sort of thing. And people's ideas of maybe fine-tuning things to get it to how you want it. Belgium was great, going to France at the end of August, and you're meeting Matt up again for a coffee and a catch-up. See, that's awesome, that is. And life's just passing by fast, isn't it? So got to do these things. I've been saying to my wife, I'm going to save up, get our passports renewed, and then again, if we've got enough money in the bank, I'll just say, right, I'm not working Friday, going for a long weekend, let's get a flight somewhere in Europe, have a look around the city, do what old people do, because we're becoming old. If you don't do it, it's going to fly by you, isn't it? And then you're going to be where you can't walk or anything like that. It's got to be done. Matt Sound, I'm sure people have seen enough of me talking on window cleaning. I think we could talk window cleaning in our sleep. Certainly think about it all the time. It's like a full-time job, isn't it? You never switch off completely with this window cleaning stuff. And you're looking on your phone, checking where I am with Squeegee. You're getting messages drip and drab through your evening, so you're replying to them and having to rechange the order things. Just to make your day easy when you go out window cleaning. You just can't switch off. Hi Paul, you alright mate? Yeah, it's definitely flying in it, James. It just goes too quick. It's getting to the point now where I used to take an old dog for a walk. Now I think a dog's taking an old man for a walk. Not far off anyway. Say I'm 50 next year. Okay, you're just saying away for a few days. Just got to book these things in and go for it. You definitely have, haven't you? And when in our kind of line of work as well, when you're speaking to your customers, like the ones a little bit older than you, so it's not far off till we reach that, and they're saying about the friends passing away and how it makes you look on life instead of just thinking, I'll make sure I've got enough money. You just say, sod it, we're just going to do it because tomorrow might not happen. So I'm totally coming around to that way of thinking. Otherwise nothing gets done, does it? Mark's saying you can't switch off even when I see dirty windows on holiday. Yeah, I've often thought, it's quite a few years ago since I've had a holiday. It was before I left the RAF, me and all the kids, we went to Malta, and it was one of them all-inclusive ones. The hotel was really nice. And I was just looking at all the glass thinking, wow, I wonder if they need a window cleaner here and I could just live in the hotel. I'll just happily spend a working day cleaning every single bit of glass that I can. I sort of work my way from one window all the way around till I start again. Just wonder if they'd say, yeah, we'll have that. I wouldn't mind. At least when you finish, you're somewhere nice, aren't you? Are we just the only ones who think like that, Mark? Who knows? So let's go have a drink of water. But yeah, I've had a few things on my radar. I've not had a really good month. Although compared to normal, when you think, like I said, we've lost 4 days work in the month, but I've still made money and come out with a bit of profit, whereas normally I'm really struggling because I was paying Sophie as well. So without paying Sophie and having the price increase, that's really made a difference for me. But I've spent some money on some things nonetheless. So that's where this helps out. You've probably seen Matt's video, and I'd heard of the micro brush, but I completely forgot about it, to be honest. And yeah, it looks really, really handy. I mean, look at the size of it. That there is like the size of the socket that goes on your brush. And that's pretty much the size of the brush. So I'm going to have that on my gooseneck, swivel gooseneck, with 50-degree fan jets as well, like Matt's got. And I'm going to use it for all the fascia soffits and gutters. And all the gable ends as well, because it's going to be nice and light on the end of my, it's a high mod pole, but I've got X-line brushes on there, and some of the times the funny angles I've got, it's surprising, I think, what stress goes through your back. I mean, I've done my back in again, but it's not as bad as it normally is, but I'm pretty sure it's all muscular. I felt it during the week being a bit funny, but again, getting old. I was all right Saturday after morning, but when I was teaching my younger two, and trying to get them to make an omelette, when my back bent over a little bit, I was in agony. So I've been all night. Today's a little bit better, but I'm going to take tomorrow off just to give it a bit more rest before I go and do the work. So I've got some funny how to reach windows again to get. So just probably another sign of getting old, or I've got to start going to the gym again, I think, and do some form of weights. But I've got some dumbbells, probably just get up early in the morning. It's the only time I can fit it in. I've got to wait till my body's better. Don't want to put myself in hospital. So that's why I thought, like what Matt's used on his videos, one of these, because it'll just make it easier when I'm doing the fascia soffits and gutters. I brought two, one for me, one for Matthew to try. So spray on the Else Energy, use this to spray it. I'm hoping the bristles on them are longer than what the X-line brush is, so it gets up a bit more behind the gutter line. Between the gutters and the fascias. So I'm going to give it a go anyway, see what we think. If not, it'll just be back to the drawing board, won't it? So I'll just try and keep up speed with the comments on here. Yeah, Mark's saying as well, I did not realise it was so small until he watched it on Matt's channel. I didn't either. I knew it was small. I mean, the name's Micro, but it really surprised me, and I thought, do you know what, that will come in handy, I think. Matt's saying he tried that brush on Friday and it was really handy. Going to be great if you have to clean the soffits. Yeah, on the gable end. That's the other thing I was thinking as well with the height and that. and it'll be nice and light. So I'm definitely looking forward to it coming through the post. Right, Mills Clean saying I wouldn't use a swivel with that small brush, as it's the only one I don't use a swivel with. Either that or tighten the screw on the swivel. Yeah, I'm still going to give it a go on my swivel gooseneck. I've got the ones where the swivel's behind the quick lock rather than it's on the socket of the brush head. Because obviously this particular brush, as you probably saw in Matt's video as well, here you can't change the socket head for the one like Matt's got, whereas I use the fixed ones, and then the gooseneck's actually got the swivel in it. So that's how I'm going to use it. Because you probably noticed in my videos I have it so my gooseneck, instead of being bent, is vertical, it's straight with the brush. And what I find is I can clean underneath where I am. I can clean underneath the soffits and then push the brush around, push up, and it flips like this. And then I'm using this part of the brush here to go against the fascias, and I can do this same like that for underneath the gutters, and then the other side the gutters. And it saves me putting me pole up and down and having to change the angle of the gooseneck. That's why I like using the swivel gooseneck, but it's like horses for courses, isn't it? And everyone has their preferences. It's like Marmite, isn't it? You get on with it or you don't like it. Matt saying thanks for the recommendation and the comments in your video. His video. I'll have to reread the comments. I tell you what, I think if it's not going to work out great, it'd probably work out good as little moustaches for fancy dress. Bit of sellotape and away you go. Yeah, I have to read the comments. Oh, you're right, Ched. Welcome back, mate. I was just saying about some of the stuff I've gone and brought, mate. You probably said it in Matt's video. So the micro brush, looking at using that for fascia softs and gutters. So try and make the work on my back a bit easier because it's something that's really nice and light. Hang on a sec. Oh, don't worry, Paul. Us men are not good at doing two things at once, are we? So, we're all the same, mate. Yeah, and the other thing I also brought... What did I get with that? I got a couple of things from them. I can't remember what they were. Oh, yeah. The... see if I can find them. I can't. But what I got from gardeners are them little, you know, kids get them when they can slap them around their wrists and they wrap round. Gardeners sell them for 95p each, and I use them just to keep things neat and tidy when I coil them up, like spare hose, that sort of thing. I wouldn't even know where to look for them. Hi John, you alright, mate? Yeah, Chad, that's what everyone was saying. It'd be good for the gable ends and brushes. God, I don't even know where to look to see what I'm on about now. Where the hell did I find them? Backpack. Sorry, I ain't got a clue to find them bits that I show you. But other stuff I brought as well is I'm going to go for this Exceed. In fact, I'll put some links in the chat. So that's for the Gardener flocked brush for you to look at. And this is the Exceed Orange 8mm, which is the outer diameter. So it is 5mm inner diameter hose. So that is your pole hose. I normally have I've been using the red stuff, but I finally used it all up. And I'm going to use this orange. So it matches all my orange hose from X-Line. And I know it's pole hose, but I use the stuff from X-Line. I'll just try and find that for you as well. Find the right thing. Sorry, bear with me. Hoses. See, Paul, I can't multitask neither, mate. Window cleaning. It's got so many things now. Just to load up. Yeah, with X-Line, they've got the... Is it the X-Hose it's called? So it's not the microfiber flex. Oh God, I can't even find it on here. You thought it'd be under hoses, wouldn't you? Got the high-vis hose here. That's what's on my reel. Used to use this microflex hose, but then they brought out the, I think it's called X hose. It's like PU hose for your pole hose. That's what I use to. But then, because I use the basically go tubeless system, it's the Exceed hose, pole hose that I use inside my pole with the univalve. So that's the go tubeless system basically. That's what I use, because I've used the X-Line orange version of this, and it's actually thick, so I find it too tight on the inside, so that when I attach it to my univalve and other bits, when you have to do maintenance to change things, it's really hard to get off. So that's why I prefer the Exceed hose. It's a little bit thinner, so it's that much easier to attach it and detach it when it's inside my pole, attaching to like my univalve and the male Rectus 21 setting. Alright, someone's come up with what it's called. Yeah, Cheddars as well. Gardner EZ wrap. Yeah, I'll get that on in a minute. Yeah, it's not Microflex, Neil. It's the other hose they've got where it's like PU hose, because the Microflex can stretch. Yep, EZ wrap. I'll look that up. Oh, I know what you mean. It's YouTube putting on adverts. Fingers crossed, it all helps, doesn't it? I don't think you'll miss anything, Mark. I'm not sure. Don't know how it all works. It's bizarre. Right, weird boxes coming up on my screen as well. So I'm just trying to find what it's called again. EZ wrap. Thanks, guys. If I could spell. Yeah, this is stuff I was trying on about. They've got it. It's this. It straightens out like a ruler, basically. And like you see kids, they bang it on their wrist, and then it flips around. And I use that just for keep things nice and tidy. It's quite handy, and they're only 95p. Really good. So yeah, so I've got this to change my pole hose because it's looking a bit worn, so I might as well get some new stuff on there to go with my new hose on my reel. That's what I was thinking. God, where's the is it X hose? I don't think that's the right name. Here we go. Ian Elliott, Neil, this is stuff X tube, not X hose. I believe it's £2 a meter. Yeah, this is what I use from my hose on my reel. I use a slick connector to connect my reel hose to this stuff, my pole hose. This is really good, hard wearing. And then on the end of this, I have the Go tubeless connections, and then it's that fits onto the tail end of this bit, which is poking out the end of my pole. So I'm starting to build up my spares of the hose tails. Got a link for you for that as well. And then at the top end of this, that hose towel then fits onto the hose that's in my pole, which is always Exceed stuff, and I've had red, so I'm going to go orange. Because like I said, this stuff is a bit thinner and it fits on your Rectus 21 fittings a lot better than the X-Tube stuff, because that's gone. I did have it on there. The X-Line X-Tube anyway. So I brought one of them. So I was just checking with the comments again. Neil's just saying use the Gardner hot water PU hose inside section 1 with the univalve on your tubeless system. Yeah, that's the green colour, isn't it? I think. Let's try and have a look. PU hose. Memory serves me right. I think it's this stuff, isn't it? Hot pole hose. Yeah, and that's what I'd had my eye on before. I was going to get some of this. The only reason I didn't is because X-Line come out with that X-Tube. I happened to be at X-Line, so I saw it straight away when they told me about it, and I got it. But yeah, that's really good stuff. Because when I first went to get a univalve and I made my own tubeless system up, because I wasn't making enough money to buy one, I tried doing it in that Microflex hose, and that's when I realised it stretches, so you can turn your univalve on and off. But at the time I was puzzled, thinking, well, how come people are putting a hose on there? Then I realised, like, if you use this stuff, it's quite stiff and it doesn't stretch compared to what I was using. So that's when I went on the X-Tube. Ched's just saying, bought some bungee cord with balls to make my own wraps. Great for all sorts. Right, I got you. Yeah, so instead of the EZ wrap, using a bungee cord. Oh, I got you. It's a good idea, mate. Loads of stuff as well, isn't it? Yeah, the orange stuff is good, mate. I've got it, not on my hoseless, I've got it on the pole hose. I just find inside my pole it's a bit hard to get off some of the fittings when I need to do stuff or replace stuff, whereas I find the Exceed hose, it's nice and thin, so that bit does it. For that reason, it's just easy to swap kit round. Sorry, Paul. I tell you what though, mate, it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, there's lots of things on my list I'd like to get, but when you save enough money and come around to getting it, you realise you can do without it, because that's what you've done half the time. It's just something nice sometimes, isn't it? Better off saving your money. John's just saying that he uses the green garden hose as well, Neil. Ched saying 25 metres of Gardner's PU hose from tubeless to real hose. Great having a longer length of PU hose. Yeah, it's better to trim it down as well, isn't it? And then you also find with the bits you cut down of, like your pole hose, be it the X-Tube, the Gardner PU hose or the Exceed, is you can use that as well to go from your gooseneck to your brushes. So what I do is, you know, like on the trad, when the window cleaners take the rubber out of their squeegee, and rather than throwing it away, trim the ends off, because the rubber in the middle tends to be alright. It's a bit worn, but it's the ends that get bashed against the frames, and then you can use that again, so you're getting more for your money. So do that same with your hoses. When you take them off, just cut away the bad bits and keep the good bits, so you can use them for shorter bits here and there, be it on your gooseneck or feeding the water into your jets on your brush, if it'll fit on there. Question coming in from Matt. Keep pressing the wrong button. Does anyone know how to undo the strainer cap coming out of the tank? Looks like it needs some sort of spanner. Is that the tank, Matt, in your actual van? I'm trying to think. Sorry, I'm just trying to find something. Tried it on Gardeners, I couldn't see it. The reason I'm asking, Matt, is because what I was thinking at first was this strainer, where it basically sits outside your tank before the water comes from your tank into your pump. But it sounds like yours is inside the tank. I know in the trolley system you have one of these fitted inside, so it draws the water through this strainer and then it just comes out here through the hose to your pole hose. So if you've got something similar to like that kind of setup in your main tank, that's kind of what I'm thinking, in which case I wouldn't know how to answer your question. You are Angus, mate, how are you? Oh, Mark's saying whatever it is you're on about, Matt, it should be hand tight. And Ched's just saying to you, Matt, most are unscrewed by hand, but will probably be tight. So maybe a rag and a water pump pliers. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. Ched's just saying, remember, take the real hose off and swap it round as one end gets one first. Oh yeah, that was a good tip you gave me earlier. So what's Ched saying, like when you take your, instead of taking the whole reel hose off and throwing it away, you could take it off and then swap the ends around. So the end that was going out towards the house, put that on your reel, because it's only the first few, well, first half mainly is going to be worn, whereas the lot that stays mainly on the reel is going to be in good nick. So again, it saves you spending more money on a pole hose for your reel. So it gives you more money. So that's a good tip there as well. All right. So when you say, is that the one that I was showing earlier? If I can find it. It's inline strainer. That's what I'm, because I've been thinking about getting these, but I've never had them and I've never had any issues really. Jesus, this thing's got a mind of its own. Because this just sits in front of the pump, but after it's coming out of the tank, before it goes to the pump, sorry. And then you can just unscrew this bit and then take out that metal bit there, clean it out, just put it back in and screw this cap back on. And that's how that strainer works. Never used one. Oh, so it is in the tank in the van and there's a strainer. Right, I see it, so it's on the inside. You must have massive arms to reach down and get that. Yeah, got ya. Yeah, it's a good tip there from Ched, just get a spare. That sort of thing I would do is, like Matt would be bugging me enough to go and do it, and then I'll be heavy-handed. All right, so it's outside the tank just before the pump. So is that like the inline strainer I was showing you? Wow. That's all right then. Like Ched's saying, get a spare, so if it worst comes to shove, just cut the old one out and put a brand new one in. James is just asking what leisure batteries are people using. I've had to replace the leisure battery in my van. Obviously I got it from X-Line. I'd have to go out to the van and read all the stuff, to be honest, to tell you. But obviously, because the kit I brought is from X-Line, I wanted an X-Line battery for it, because when you go online, and look up leisure battery. There's thousands of them in there, and they're all slightly different sizes to fit obviously in different places. So knowing me, I just thought I'd get the wrong one, so just get the one I need from X-Line, because they're going to supply the one that I needed. So that's where I got mine from, mate. So it's a 110 amp sealed leisure battery, and then down here it's got the information here, like for the sizes and all that kind of stuff. And I know if I went online to get one that's cheaper, it wouldn't even fit, it wouldn't do the job. So I just brought what I needed from X-Line for my X-Line system, and it's been good, obviously, because it's new. But I did get 5 years use out of the one that's in there, and it gets caned. I'm really busy, like. So I couldn't tell you the make and model of it, because I think it's different from the pictures. So it's probably worth getting the information, mate, I would say, off your old battery. Phone your supplier, and then hopefully they'll be able to give you the correct one that fits your system as well, because it's 110 quid. Don't want to get that wrong, we send that back. Matt's saying you've got an AGM deep cycle leisure battery. I don't even know what their numbers are. AH. Can't even tell you what mine really is. Just 110 amp sealed leisure battery with dual battery terminals running all fan mounted systems. And it does say battery manufacturer may vary to the picture. Mine definitely does. Yeah, Neil's saying don't think strainers are needed. I haven't had strain on mine at all, and I haven't had any problems really. When you fill up your van, it's good to look in and see if there's any dirt, and that's a good thing about gutter vac, isn't it? Well, if it's bad, I've only done it once, where parks and the van's slightly tilted, and I drain as much water out before I fill it up, leave a little bit in there, and what I'm hoping is spray a bit of water in so it sloshes all the mud down to side, where I can then drop my hose from my gutter vac in and just kind of hoover it out. And just keep pouring a little bit of water in and hoovering it out till I've got it as clean as I can. And then if there's any mud that's getting there, I used to hate it because I was like, how can mud get inside a holding tank? But I thought it was obviously when the kids used to fill up and the nozzle, they'd throw it over the fence and it'd go in the mud on the ground, and then when they pressed the trigger, I said that's the only way, surely mud must be getting into my tank. So since I told them to be a bit careful, surprise I've not got that problem too much, but it's surprising what can get in there. Mark's saying to James, I get my leisure battery from Cleaning Warehouse or Halfords. Suppose just get as much information as you can off that battery, or even take it to Halfords and say, what have you got that's this size, so it fits into where you need it. James is saying to you, noticed it was looking a bit dirty, so thought I'd clean it, but couldn't undo it. Oh, sorry, Matt, yeah. eBay. Ched's saying he has Euramax, is that right? Battery. I look forward to watching it, Mark. I think a lot of people will be wanting to as well. So all these handy little things are good, aren't they? Neil's just saying he's got a 225 AH Explorer leisure battery. No worries, James. Remember to main charge your battery every night to prolong its life. Never let it drop below 12 volts rested. Yeah, luckily for me, mine's on a split relay. When I had my van fitted by X-Line, because I wouldn't be able to do it. They've done the gone what it's called now. I was just talking about it. The split relay. So it basically charges up my leisure battery through the day. But that's the problem when you've got a really good compact round. You're not driving long enough for that to happen. You just stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. So it's probably good to have a couple of days where you do a bit of driving around in between. Do your van a bit of good, I suppose. That's definitely what my Coningsby day does for me. Paul saying you got a leisure battery from Euro Car Parts. Can't remember the capacity, was 115 quid. 4-year warranty. Any issues, I replace it with a new one. Matt's just saying since he's had the proper split charge fitted for it rather than the one it come fitted with, that it's been perfect. Yeah, I definitely do a lot more miles than you, Jed. There's plenty of stop start as well. Forgot what I was saying. I was telling someone about your round, like all your houses within 5 miles. I'd love that. Yeah, anyway, what else did I get? I'll just stick it up in the chat. Last thing I brought was from Rutex Designs. It was the brush holders for garden. I brought 2 basically. Been really impressed with it in my van. So you can see you get a single one here for £7.95. Obviously you got your VAT and post and packaging on there. So I've got that one, and I also got the double one. I've got the double one in my van. You've probably seen it on my videos. So I've just got another one for Matthew, and I've got a single one for my son David, which I'm going to put in near the pole he uses, an 8-foot pole. And there's now a spare brush because obviously Sophie isn't with us, so it'd store nicely on there. I like these. They're really good. So top notch, and that's my expenses this weekend. So yeah, it's more money is normal, but I'm going to try and build up my spares. I need, from X-Line I bought 3 female Rectus 21s because I've run out of them. So every time I put an order in, I'll just buy 1 or 2 little things to build up my spares. So I've got stuff on the shelf good to go in my garage basically, rather than something that costs £1.50, stops you working for 2 days. All within 3 miles, but not many in the same road, so a little bit of driving. Probably does you good though, that little bit of driving, mate. And Neil saying, all depends what running off the battery. Yeah, the more things you've got running off it, the more it's going to get sapped, isn't it? Electric reels, especially I suppose when you've got a lot of hose sticking out of your van, it's harder for the reel to reel it in as well, especially if it's on grass and that. So there's a lot of things come into play really when you think about it. Matt's just saying one of your subscribers is a local window cleaner to you. Messaged you today, said he'd had 3D prints, his own brush holders for gardeners, and he's dropping some off mint. Probably have to do a video on them, mate, and then maybe put a link, because I'm sure other people, maybe from the group, which I'll just put a link to in case you're new. There's a Facebook group, a lot of the guys here moderate it as well, Window Cleaners Hub. Just put a link to that for you, and Matt could probably post a few things in there and see if it sort of helps him out as well. Be interesting. They are handy, isn't they, all these little things. Obviously Neil does 3D print stuff as well. Paul's just saying to Matt, a mate of mine has a 3D printer. I was thinking to ask him if he could make a camera mount for a water-fed pole like in your last video. Right, boy, just getting something on the screen. I've brought something. It's £7.95 plus VAT and post and packaging, of course. And gardeners do this, so it just fits inside your gooseneck, and then you can put your adapters on there to fit your GoPros and whatever. Ah. That's good, mate. I thought you got in touch with them, didn't you? And they said you can't use them even though you made them in your own van, so you had to take the Or was it just because it had the X-Line logo on it? Maybe they might change their mind, mate. Because that sort of thing looks nice in the van, especially if you've got all the rest of the, like me, the system with X-Line. It's got the stickers on it. It all just goes nice, I think, anyway. No worries, Paul. Kev saying you think the Rutex brush holder is, yeah, it is hexagonal. As, oh right, yeah, Gardner got the copyright to the square. That would make sense, mate. I did think that as well, and I also thought maybe it's that shape so you could fit other ones, but it definitely says it's for Gardner poles. Ah, right, gotcha, yeah, so you need a camera mount for that. Fair one. Tell you what, Paul, if he could make them for OV8 poles, that could be a good little number for him as well, for people that are asking for the same thing for a similar reason. I bet there's a gap in the market for that. That'd be awesome. Something else I talked about before, but I've had a look round. I think I might have mentioned it anyway. Pressing the wrong buttons. Is with Streamline, someone got my eye on, is this polylining kit for a van, but it's, like I said, 460 quid, but that's not based on my van, it's one that's similar. But I found near me in Peterborough, Van Wagon, they do an easy wipe van lining, so it's made of this stuff, whatever it's called, finesse polyline, polyproline, or a lining panel for the transport sector. I can see it's supplied in 4mm, so it might be too thin to screw things through, but it's all recyclable and stuff like that, and waterproofed. But I did like the one at the show, Streamline, because it's on something really thick and black behind it, so it's like thermo protected, so I just knew you could screw stuff through there. But I just thought the one being near Peterborough is near local to me, so one day, if I get a day off, could be a job for tomorrow actually, give him a ring, take my van down there, let him have a look at my van, get to have a look at it and get a quote basically, and then when I've got the money maybe get that in. So I'm not sure, just something to tidy up the van and replace the ply lining, because when I clean, it's rhino lined, so it's alright to clean with my jet wash, or just change the the ply lining over and get new ply lining. So it's back to the comments. Always pressing the wrong buttons, mate. That's why we have a doghouse, innit? Ched's saying Rutex would make mounts for OV8 if enough people ask. He spends a lot of time getting his kit right. Yeah, so he's doing quality kit for what he's pushing out as products. So he's obviously doing a lot of research, getting a lot of feedback of people. And like Ched's saying, if there's enough demand for it, we'll go for it. So it might be worth getting in touch with him, send him some, as he's a window cleaner himself as well. Yeah. Yeah. But what pole would you go for, Paul? There's absolutely tons out there, isn't there, really, now? There's more and more. You've got the Streamline stuff, have you, Ched? That's definitely what I've got my eye on, but then I saw that easy wipe stuff and I just thought, as a local, I can see it, but I have seen the Streamline stuff at the expo and I liked how thick it was looking, because you got the line and then behind it was more material, black stuff, so I just knew you could put your screws in through there, whereas I'm not sure what this 4mm is, so I don't know if they could ply line it and then stick the 4mm stuff over the top. I don't know, That's why I'd like to go and speak to them, really, see what they've got to say and get a quote, compare the prices. But I need to save a lot of money till I get to that point, because I'm still trying to get money to pay some stuff off to make me better off in the overall grand scheme of things. Sorry if I'm doing everyone's head in with the wrong buttons. Paul's just saying, but first need a new ladder, my own backpack, electric reel, gutter vac spares. The list goes on. Always does, mate, but it's nice to whittle your way through them. I suppose a new ladder's got to come first and all that, isn't it? Because if you're going to stand on something you're not happy with, more of a risk of you getting hurt, isn't it? Rather, if you get a good solid ladder, then you're happy as Larry with that. What else did you say you got? I have to swap where these buttons are. Backpack. I always say you can't go wrong with a gardener's backpack. I think they're, for the money, they're good. I know the wiring's a bit questionable maybe, but they are on whatever you get, aren't they? Electric reels are all, they're definitely nice. So maybe if your ladder's got a bit of life in it, go electric reel, mate. Hi Craig from Simple Solutions. Hi all, new to the industry this year. Appreciate the videos, picked up some great information, tips and tricks. Yo, hi Craig, welcome for joining us, mate. Thanks for popping in. Don't know how many of these you've seen. We go live every Sunday, mate, and it's just a community of people. You'll see in the comments, Window Cleaners Hub, a lot of the guys in here moderate it as well. Facebook group, and just shout out, put silly comments on there or ask for help, you know what I mean? Everyone's eager to help out. I got a lot of helpful information when I started, mate. It's good just to help someone, innit? Right, just 4mm plastic in yours, a bit like soft polycarb Connie roof with the ribs between front and back, no ply beneath, so you do have to be careful what to screw in. A lot of the things you do buy comes with small screws anyway, don't they? So yeah, okay, from what you're saying then, that easy wipe might be up there, considering it's now 30 minutes or so from my house as opposed to me driving to Streamline. And plus I can get to see it and speak to them, and they can have a look and tell me what would probably be ideal with what I've got in mind. And then, like I say, I come away with a quote and a goal, I suppose. They are, mate. I've got a Stream Deck, Nelly. I just keep pressing the wrong flaming button because I've got this big microphone in my way, me vision, even though I've got my glasses on. AR Craiglet. Yeah, that's true. Has anyone got any tips for Craig about getting customers? I've never really advertised massively or done Google ads or paid for ads. It's just built up. In fact, Mark's really good at putting stuff out on his socials. So I said I'd make an effort if you remember one of my lives, but as soon as I put it up there, people keep asking me to clean the windows, but I haven't got any room to take anyone else on. So I'm going to stop putting stuff on my socials, I think. But yeah, that's good. Just putting clips like Neil said, or Nelly. All right, Craig. What you need to do is take a picture. We can take 2 or 3 because you can put them together, can't you, on Facebook? And then just say like, out cleaning the windows today, and then put the location. You know what I mean? Say enjoying the weather, that sort of thing. And that's all you need to do on your Facebook. And then in your local Facebook groups or something like that. And that would do you well, mate. Leaflets, they're good to put out. So a lot of people say like you don't get a good return. But during the summer month, just when you're starting out, just put your leaflets out. Target areas, that sort of stuff. Word of mouth is the best. And the more customers you've got, the more the word spreads, if that makes sense. It'll start to run. So just focus on finding your feet, your workflow, what you like doing, what suits you, and just doing a good job. And then everything else looks after itself. It's just hard when you've got targets, money you need. But stick at it, keep going, and it'll like we said, time flies. It'll be there before you know it, Craig. Matt saying, pop to Streamline when you come to visit me. They're 30 minutes away. Ah, that'd be worth a shout. Or if I do go down there, I'll come and visit you. Definitely, that's in the brain. Hi, Chris. Saying from True View Window Cleaning. I started a year ago. Agree with Craig. Great to listen and learn from passionate people like yourselves. Cheers, mate. No, it is nice, isn't it? It's, like I say, I started. It's only like when I was 41. I hadn't done window cleaning before. So I suppose when you're like old, people think and assume you've done it for ages, so I suppose it's easy to get on. But when you're a young lad, everyone's probably a bit the opposite. But you just got to have that. You want to do something, you're just going to do it. So as you've all started, well, you've more than started, you know what I mean? Been going a year, so there you go. So you've already got the passion. A lot of people just fail at that hurdle. But yeah, it's just nice, I suppose, to see other people still liking what they're doing. And just, you'll get, it's weird, you build up, then you get over busy, which I've been for a long time, then you're trying to get things right. So you'll always be tweaking stuff anyway, and trying to get a work-life balance right. But I definitely like it, it's enjoyable. I was speaking to a customer when I was walking my dog yesterday, because she's saying, do you love it? I said, I just like being outside, so I don't care if it's raining or sunshine, I'm outside. That's what I enjoy about it. She's saying take the ply out, put it on a sheet, okay, off easy wipe, and then just trim it to the size of the ply and put it back in. How many days does gardener take to deliver items to home? Oh, Matt, you can answer this one because you've got between us all the last package, didn't you? I normally find gardener quite good, 2 or 3 days, I suppose. I've never had a problem with gardener. Ched saying door knocking Craig's quickest, but you've just leafleted. But when I first started out, mate, because I didn't have any customers, hardly, I just targeted a village and then just parked my car up, walked so many houses down on one side, knocking on the door. If there's in, I'd speak. If there wasn't in, I just put a leaflet through the door, moved on, and then I'd cross the road, do the same back to my car, and then drive to where I last got, and just work my way down around the villages doing that. And it's nice when you come away and say, I've got 5 customers, that sort of thing. But people will see you working in areas, and they will start, you'll get walk-ups, people will ask, it'll all get there. But yeah, door knocking is good. It's free as well, isn't it? I was just saying about 2 days, mate, for gardeners. So I take it it's been over 2 days, is it, mate? Paul saying, has anyone got a recommendation for a company to print leaflets? Yeah, try and get up who I used, which is Vistaprint. That's who I used. Probably have to sign in. Sorry, just got to get all my passwords and stuff. Yeah, I used Vistaprint. I'll see if I can get up some of my old leaflets. Orders. Right, I'm in. I'm just trying to get to the order history up. I use Vistaprint. I used Photoshop to make up my own files, and I loaded them up to Vistaprint, and I got through there. That's the front, and then I had some info on the back, but it won't let me show it. And you see I've got business cards through them, done those ones. And then I also made these as well, so when I've called I put them through there. I have changed it now, so I've added a bit underneath here to put the day's date. Then on the back I've just got different payment methods, but obviously now I use Squeegee. Everything's done through text message, but I'll still do some people that don't have text messages, don't have mobiles, don't have emails, so they still come in handy for that. And the size leaflets I went for, is it A5? What's the one where you got A4? A5 is half of that, isn't it? And then I've got the next size down from that, I think. A6, that's what I've got. It's right in front of me. I got them because I just thought they'd work out cheaper than A5. And it's just easier to stack in my van. So that's what I went for. But to be honest, I'll probably get business cards, mate. And then just stick business cards through the letterbox as a leaflet. Because you've also got them then if someone says you've got a business card there in your van to hand over as well. And always keep some in the back pocket, even when you're in the pub. So that's who I use, mate, Vistaprint. But I don't know what everyone else has used. John's saying you started this year and it's been mental with no effort at all. Like I say, I've had few inquiries that have come in with no effort at all as well, and obviously just posting someone on my socials get me a few. So I think like if you follow Smell, his channel where he does pressure washing, he's never really advertised. He just does a lot of advertising in a way of just like say making a post and sticking it on Facebook a lot in the local groups, and he gets lots of work that way. That's a good one, Ched. Does anyone anyone reward customers who recommend you? I had thought about this when I first started, saying if you recommend me a customer you get the next clean free, and then it's sort of like an incentive, and if the customer can get you a customer every month sort of thing, then they've got free window cleaning for the year. But I know some people wouldn't like that. I had thought that because the customer they gain you, well, if they stay as a regular customer, it's going to be really cost effective. And I think that'd be hard to try and scam you, where someone can do a clean and then bug off, and then someone you'd spot that a mile off. But yeah, does anyone else do anything similar where you give 20% off, an extra clean, a free gutter clear if they get you 10 customers or something like that? John, you haven't delivered a leaflet yet. Shouldn't worry, mate. Even just driving around, innit? You just got to get out there. I mean, for me, you've been busy though, ain't you? Saying it's all coming through for you, is that right? Yeah, because it's gone that mental. You haven't been out to deliver leaflets. I'd often thought as well, if I wasn't working, rather than parking my van at home, because people drive past and think, oh, he's finished for the day, I would still rather be out in my van doing something so people see it. So I suppose that's a good thing you're doing friends or family as well, because people will see you. Looks like you're working, even if you did like a local community centre for free, but people will see you working. I've thought of that before. Sorry, Chris is just saying he's done Facebook ads, has built up 70% of his customer base, £9 per conversion, along with frequent social media posting, mixing up your content. Wow. I just know I'd get the Facebook ads wrong, and then I'd be wasting money. But yeah, that's interesting, Chris. I suppose like anything in it, YouTube, just look up how to do it, see it cost effective and everything. Shows it all works. Definitely having a social media like page and putting posts on it and using your local Facebook groups. Paul saying used Vistaprint so far, which has been good quality, but I know you can get them cheaper or quicker. Yeah, I've always used Vistaprint, mate, and I've just stuck with them. Matt's just saying to John, you're doing well, but you've had a great mentor. Oh, Ted said he started at 51 and that was over 4 years ago. Wow. Ted, do you sort of like wish that you'd done it when you were younger? Because I do. I know I joined the military at a young age. Had a cracking time in the first half of it, and then obviously as time goes on, you get married, got kids, it's harder. I really do like what I did in the military and my mates and everything, but doing this, I wish I started this at a young age as well, just knowing that I could have done this for 40, 50 years. I really do. Whereas doing it now, it's like, you know what I mean, a couple of decades and then that's it. I've joked with my wife saying I've only got to have a military pension, state pension. She hasn't got one, so she'll have a state pension. I said my health is going to be my pension, because and then I just need to do so many cleans for a few hours a day to earn extra money. So as long as I've got my health, I think I'll be doing this all the time. It obviously just whittle down as I get older. But yeah, I really do wish I'd done this at a young age, especially when you think if you had done this like 30, 40 years ago, imagine how well you'd have your round set now. It'd be a breeze. John's just saying gardener take 2 days, they're good. Yeah, I've never had any problems with gardeners, to be honest. No worries, James. Have a good week, mate. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, Mark's saying he's not had any issues with gardener. Ched's saying he used FedEx, so next day if ordered before 2 p.m. Is that dispatch? Yeah, Vistaprint. No worries, Craig. Using gardener brushes, recommendations for first clean brush. Right, has anyone got any recommendations for Craig? Or you probably answered it. For first clean brush. I haven't really got any recommendations for a first clean brush. Everyone knows the ones I use. Is I actually love these brushes. I do swear by them. I use the X-Line brushes with an internal rinse bar. They are pricey though, Craig, but I will say they'll last you a couple of years. But lads on here will tell you they do seem heavier than some of the ones you buy off Gardener, because they've got such a range with Gardener, it gets confusing. So they've got some really light brushes. But Nelly would tell you as well, the one from DA Components, the Edge, he's saying that's a really good brush. He's enjoying that. I'll just try and get up the brush I've got. Yeah, this is the one I use. You can see it's £71.40p, and then you got your post and packaging on top. But what I will say is get a brush bumper to go around it. Stays in good nick. The ones I'm using are coming up for 2 years old and they still do a really good job. The weight is 230 kilograms. It's 229, just call it 230 grams, 229 kilograms, a bit monstrous. And then I know the Gardeners can be a minefield, this one, because there's so much. It's mind-boggling and interesting just trying to understand it all. But they have got a guide on here, mate. If you go on Gardeners, the brush guide, they've got a good bit of bump down here trying to describe to you the different range of the brushes, what they suggest they're for. And then if you click on the brush guide as well itself, I think you can even download this. But basically you've got a list down here, column of the brushes, and then it's telling you what they're best for, and then you've got all these ticks here, so you could use these to find the best brush that it suggests for first cleans in different scenarios, perhaps. Use that as a guide. I'm sure you can actually download that, mate, onto PDF, so it's nice and big for you to look at. But yeah, but I've used X-Line brushes from day one and I've been happy with them full stop, so I use them all the time, and might be a bit on the heavy side but compared to other brushes, but I absolutely love them, can't rate them enough. But yeah, lads on here hopefully will come up with some answers for you, mate. And like I said, use the brush guide on gardeners, should hopefully pinpoint you into the right area. So I'm just trying to see where I got up to on the comments. Here we go. Kev's just saying, nice little community on here, much better than the forums. Cheers, mate. Nice one. Yeah, everyone here's sound. I mean, when I first started, I was just talking to myself, but a lot of people on here have come on and stayed on as well, and everyone's helpful. I just find it a nice thing to do on a Sunday as well. Bizet. Cheap, but their charges go up if you want them fast. Excuse me. Kev's just saying to Craig, simple for the first cleans, either the medium soft ultimate or the DA Components Elite brush are great for first cleans. There you go, mate. Yeah, there's a lot of my slong is bigger than yours sort of thing on some of them groups, isn't it? Or you see when people ask, like they say, I'll say like window cleaners or exterior cleaner or even pressure washers for beginners, and then someone's making a valid question because they don't know, and then people are just trying to make out they're better than everyone else and they're the experts, but rather than answer it, they're just shooting them down in flames. And then other people saying it's a beginners group, what do you expect? Unfortunately. I think a lot of them are just trolls as well. Well, I'm just idiots sort of thing. Well, they are idiots, but you know what I mean. People actually do the job but are not willing to help someone and just laugh about it. Ted's just saying he uses business cards with stickers. I print on the rear for one for I cleaned your windows, etc., or quote cards. Oh, I got you. That's a good idea. And Neil's saying about your question, Ched, that they give a free clean for a recommendation. I think that's good. Chris is saying offer both refer and referee 50% off their next cleans after they've had the first clean, and that's working well. I suppose it's good as well if you put the price of the first clean up as well. But for the guys who are sending new, well, you're not new, you've been going a year, you know what I mean? Don't fall in the trap of thinking every first clean you do charge double or 1.5, because the window might be clean already and they've just had a window cleaner retire or something like that. So just take a good look, and if the windows are really dirty, then maybe consider putting a bit more on than you would for a maintenance clean for the first clean. Ched's just saying, I was thinking a free clean. I have one customer who's got me a few new customers, so I was thinking she deserves something. Yeah, I mean, I've had a customer give me like 3 or 4 customers. So sometimes if they've gone behind on the payment, I just void it. You know what I mean? Chances are they know that anyway. But I just think, hang on a minute, they've done something good for me, so you know what I mean? They've had a free clean is the way I look at it. But yeah, I think that's a good idea, Ched, what you say. And I'm sure they'd really appreciate it. And especially if you just turn around and when you finish saying, this one's on us because, and that'll make their day. I bet they're nice people there. They just say, no, I'm going to pay you as well. That's a good one. Look at Google Gemini to generate ads. It's amazing how powerful AI is. Yeah, it's just learning how to use the prompts, isn't it? Again, using YouTube. And I've seen like People saying Gemini is better than Chat GPT. 23. I wish I was 23, Angus, mate. Wish I was young, started doing this. Because you just think 10, 15 years, you'll be laughing. You'll have everything sweet as. But also just look how, I suppose, the kit and equipment will change and all that kind of stuff as well. There's always quite a changing pace, isn't there, stuff? But then again, the old stuff still goes strong, doesn't it? But yeah, I wish I'd started young because I really do enjoy it. I like it. Oh, I think I remember you saying you've done before, yeah. 18 years in the MOD, 18 running holiday apartments in Blackpool. Then this should have started when had flats. Yeah. Stayed at Blackpool for a bank holiday weekend with some lads when I was based up in Yorkshire. Obviously good having a beer because we had a lot of beers, and I just couldn't believe I was trying to make my way to where we were staying. It seemed like every 20 metres I passed there was a £1 burger van or shop selling burgers or hot dogs for £1. So I had a good food field there trying to get back. It's also made me laugh, Blackpool. You could be standing there and you have to double take, so they're like Batman and Robin running down the road followed by the police, and you'd be like trying to work out, is everyone in fancy dress or is that a real policeman? It's quite bizarre, but never had any real trouble. So yeah, I thought Blackpool was good. It was a good laugh from your mates. Nellie's just saying, Chad, we have a customer that's had over 6 free cleans due to her recommendations. The other good thing when this happens as well, isn't it? Is just makes you think how well liked you are by that customer. It's not like, you know what I mean? They like you and are thinking of you and trying to help you by recommending you as well. And the thing is, a lot of your customers will also say that is one thing they never do, is recommend people to other people because it's bit them in the arse. But they'll say, for you, I always recommend you. I've had that comment just because you're reliable. And it's nice to hear things like that, isn't it? Makes you think all your hard work's worth it, because you get the odd bits where you just think people are against you, but on the whole, it's all good. So yeah, I think people like that do deserve something coming their way that's nice. Mark's is saying, I wish he'd doing this when I was younger. Started when he was 35 and now he's 51. Try and do the maths, mate. So 16 years. Wow. That's cool. I think we'd all like to be younger because I know my back won't be hurting so much. The other thing I like doing this is speaking to all your customers. It just reminds me when I was a paper boy and speaking to the old timers. A lot of them were ex-army, Second World War, so I used to love speaking to them. I think I loved the fact that I was interested in joining up. Just made them smile. And yeah, it's just great. It just reminds me of being on my paper and chatting away to the customers like, and getting some good insights when I get to their age, which I'm sure I'm going to chuckle about when I have the same thoughts they had, and some of the sayings they told me I'll be going through my head. So it is interesting. I like it. Nelly's saying started at 17. I remember you saying, yeah, 35 years ago. On your ladders. Sorry, Matt saying started when I was 40 in 2020 and you wish you'd started it years ago. So pretty much all us old farts really do wish we'd done this when we were younger as well. Because you just be doing it for such a long time. It's great. John saying he's been using the Gardner DuPont for first cleans and it's been absolutely great. Chris saying he's found the flocked Gardner Extreme is very good. Should be getting some lifetime award, wouldn't you, Neil? You have to start a window cleaners annual dinner or something like that. Annual awards. Normally use an old seal brush for first cleans as they get battered. Yeah, and the good thing with a seal brush as well, isn't it? It's going to get the old window sills. But what I do on the first cleans, I say to my son, he hates this. Especially when I know the window's looking grubby, but I'll do it bog standard. I just say, get the ladder, we go up and we'll have a look at the windowsill and then we'll scrub that by hand if need be. Because then on the maintenance cleans, it will be fine. And then a couple of houses, what I do is, because I know, say, the front of the house is mainly in the shade, when it gets towards near autumn, I'll go up there during autumn as well to make sure there's no green on there. Or, you know what I mean? Sometimes I just tell the customer, when you notice out the window, let me know and I'll run up the ladder. So I've got this, it's not all houses, just a couple, it's just the location of where they are. So fine, do that. It's important you get them nice, isn't it, when you first clean. That's the way I've looked at it. You might lose your money on the first clean, but you'll make it back on all your maintenance cleans. Just get it right and it's easy. Just used banana print for my first batch of leaflets. Found it good if you're looking to design your own. Oh, I've not heard of them. Yeah, I just went with bog standard Vistaprint. At the end of the day, it's nice when you've designed them yourself as well, because you kind of feel a bit chuffed. It's amazing how much time you take pondering and wondering this. Sometimes just say sod it and just do it. Because you can always add and tweak things as you go. Just don't order 10,000 one go like I did, because I still had about 5,000 left. So I've thrown them away and I just get them when I need them and change the design here and there. John saying you used super light flocked today for the first time and you're shocked at how much you loved it. Wow. I'll have to have a look at that. It's nice, isn't it, just to change and swap things around as well. Kev's just saying to Craig, totally agree, banana print are very good and great prices. There we go. That's two people saying about it, must be good. You can't say the new brush is heavy, yeah, the micro brush. It's going to be light as hell, isn't it? Ched saying you use flocked for most of your work. Great for most jobs. Yeah, me and Sophie used to say sometimes when we had the flocked brush on, don't know what I said then. We sort of like go through bits where we prefer it, even on the guard for normal windows. Got to the point where we toyed with the idea of using DuPont on first cleans and using the flocked brush as an all-rounder as well as for your leaded windows, because it seems to attach to the glass and slide better. It's what me and Sophie felt. But then I normally find I try that for about 3 weeks and then I just went back to my DuPont, which I do like. Or thought DuPont for your first cleans, and then in the summer use the DuPont because of all the snail trails and things like that, bird poo. But then when summer's gone, use the flocked brush. But I suppose it's just trial and error, chopping and changing, and just changing things up. Even when you've got something you like, just change it up a little bit. Yeah, Nellie's saying the edge brush is a great brush, just a bit expensive to be using on first cleans only. Yeah, like I say, I use the X-Line brush, so I just use it for everything, and I've just got flocked or DuPont. Mark saying, I thought about doing a loyalty card, so if customers get so many referrals, before you give them a free clean. It'd also be good, I suppose, if you did that, where you got some neighbours and it makes it a bit of a competition between each other. You know what I mean? Bit of fun, like a bingo card in the Sun newspaper, that sort of thing. I was telling my kids I used to work in the paper shop and they got me behind the tills, and so-and-so would ring and I'd know what house number and I'd be like, I'll get you some bingo cards, because I knew that's all they're doing is some extra bingo cards. The guy running the shop just winked at me. So we all knew what they're doing, but it's just for them to pass the time in it, and they really appreciate us. Look, I'm on my way home, I can pop it on the way. But yeah, I suppose it'd be good for things like that as well, wouldn't it? Bit of fun. You could give the customer some credit for you to use. Yeah. So they could build up the credit and use that to pay for like a gutter clear or something like that later on in the year. And that's good as well. Yeah, give them more if it's on the same road. So it tries to help your round stay really compact. I do sons and daughters and sons. Yeah, I've got a few where I do the families as well, and that's really nice. It's even better when you're talking to someone and don't realise the family members, because they've not told you. They've just spoke to someone, and then you put two and two together and find out. And it's surprising. Like clean someone, then I clean the daughter and the granddaughter and the great kids as well. Poor Betty. And that was really nice. Yeah, I do a lot of families like that, really. It's nice, isn't it? Because you can ask how each other are, or before you go round, you already know something's happened because other family members have told you. Still burgers for £1. Yeah, I saw on Gary Eats, he did like Blackpool burgers £1. I haven't watched that one. I want to because I was surprised. You alright, Phil? You alright, mate? Chris is saying I use Squeegee to manage my customers, communication, and Xero for finances. Mate, that's exactly the same as I do. Yeah, Squeegee is good, but limited in ways. What else does everyone use? I think Matt uses Cleaner Planner. I think a few others do as well. But I use Squeegee. Before I used Squeegee, I was using Calendar on my Apple iPhone. But it got crazy after a while managing stuff, so when Squeegee came out I went for that. But I started the lowest one and I built up as I got busier. But I've always used Xero from day one for my bookkeeping, just because the accountant has access to that, so it makes his job easy as well. Squeegee gets a lot of updates and they change things. Sometimes I notice things are changed without, because you don't always read the updates, do you? But I do find Squeegee good because I've used it for so long now. I wouldn't use anything else. And it's good to be able to look back on the customer's history or finance history when you're trying to work things out. Ah, nice one, Paul. He's just saying he started using Get Soapy. That is something I had thought about swapping from Squeegee to, but I've just stuck with Squeegee. I must admit, Squeegee are good on the support. They get back to you. Well, they've got back to me quick for emails and stuff like that. So he's saying it's basically the same as Squeegee, and the help they give you is very good. So there you go, possibly Get Soapy. Sure, if you go through a Macintosh through his podcast, you've probably got a code for you as well to use. I believe you can, Mark. Paul will answer you. I think, like you said, it's similar to Squeegee. See, I'm sure it does go cardless and card payments as well. There you go, yeah, no problem. Chris is saying, cheers, I've taken a look, not heard of them. I find Squeegee does what it says on the tin, but not very dynamic in the way of reporting and the other bits. And I think they've got some bits in there, but they're still going to be updated. They're not fully kind of live, if that makes sense. They are Cleaner Planner, that's what Matt uses. John said he started using Cleaner Planner this week and find it so far so good. And then you've got Prize Window Cleaning, where he's like turning over millions, well, over 2 million, heading towards 3 million a year, and he uses Cleaner Planner. Ched's just saying thanks for all the advice. Basically, lots of different ways to reward customers. Do like the idea of credit there, I must admit, Ched, especially if you know that customer's going to get an annual gutter clear, and they can use that to take money off the big jobs, if you get what I mean. Ah, so Angus, you're trying to build your own management service. I've been asked by a customer of mine, he runs the management for the road that he's in, to he was trying to see if anyone else there is interested in window cleaning, but they're not. They're about pressure washing the drive. There's something I'd do. I'd like to get some help on. I said I'd quote it up, but just to be honest, I haven't got time to put it in with all the windows. But if I could say get me younger son David to work with Matthew and Matthew to drive me van, I could then, while the windows are still going, maybe pressure wash that job. But it is a big job. I'd have to go out. I wouldn't just jump in. I'd have to go off and do £500 on the Mods 1 course with Pure Seal. I'd like to learn and do it right, basically. It's something I'm toying with. Ched saying, do you find Squeegee SMS system any good? Does it have a different phone number, or do you use your own for the customer to reply on? Right, Ched is they've got different price plans on Squeegee. I think I'm on the ultimate one, so it does the two-way messaging. But it didn't work the way I thought it, excuse me, going to. So currently what we've got it, we don't use a two-way messaging. So when I press a message, I can go to the day where, like, say if I was working tomorrow, my wife can just click one button and it sends messages to everyone on that day, a reminder, and you can have it pre-populated. So it adds in on each one, hello, and then puts the customer name for me. So you've got tokens, so it can pre-put this information for you, and then obviously you've got bits you can write in yourself. And it'll send it all out to their actual mobile phones. And then if they reply to that, it goes to my mobile phone. So I've got a mobile phone that we use for work. My wife has that. And I've got my personal mobile phone. So we communicate with each other. And she's got the work phone to do all the organisation, or if any messages come through during the day, she can forward them on to me, rather than me trying to clean and keep having to answer the phone because people are phoning up wanting quotes, that sort of thing. Two-way messaging would mean I could sign in Squeegee on my personal phone, she's got the work phone, and I'd be able to send and reply messages. But the way that works, it doesn't have the same number as my work number. They put a different phone number in there because the way Apple is, it's the way they've got to do it, and that would just confuse my customers because they'd see a different phone number. However, if there was to ring that number or send text to it, it goes to your phone, if that makes sense. It's just I thought it'd throw me customers about if I did that, so I've turned the two-way messaging off. But what it would mean if we did use it, I can speak to my customers through Squeegee, and then I can see the history of the messages in there, as opposed to only being on the work mobile, which is at home. And then if my wife signed in on Squeegee on the home phone, she could still see all the messages on Squeegee, basically, if that kind of makes sense. Best thing to do, mate, is just get in touch with Squeegee and ask them some questions about that. Phil's just saying use SMS for all the customers to and from Squeegee, and it assigns you your own text number. Is that with the two-way messaging? Because all my customers, before I went up to a different higher level so that I had two-way messaging, I've known my phone number that's all on my van, if you get what I mean. So that's why I haven't gone two-way messaging. Didn't work the way I thought it would, because it would give them a different phone number. But it's definitely something I would have liked to use, because I can see the history in replying to texts, even though my missus is doing all the messaging, but she just relays it to me. Hope that makes sense, Phil. Mark saying don't use SMS on it. I do send a customer to customers the day before, but I have a quick way of doing it from my phone. Yes, it's, something else, Ched, as well I use with Squeegee is you can go into Owen, you've got everyone Owen, and you can put it in like who owes the highest down, or go from the oldest, which is what I do it from. So anyone over 7 days, if you can click a button from that Owen, so everyone's got a tick, and everyone underneath 7 days I untick because I give 7 days payment. Then anyone over that 7 days has got a tick. I can then just press one button, and then they all get a pre-populated reminder message, which you can, again, put your own writing in there, but you can use tokens. So for example, it says hello, adds in their name, you have an outstanding balance, and it'll automatically put the balance in there for them as well. So it's good, you can do stuff like that. And rather than me sending, like, not saying 50 people owe me money, but if I had to send 50 messages, I'm just doing it a click of one button, if that makes sense. But you do have to buy tokens, credits, sorry, to send the text messages. You didn't have to when I first had it, but Apple done something. So if it was on Android, you didn't have to pay credits, but Apple you did. But I'm not sure if you have to across the board now. But it's not always Squeegee's fault, it's the other carriers and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I find it good, mate. Phil saying on referrals they offer a £25 credit if they refer a friend or neighbour, etc. that joins our regular round. There you go, Matt. And that's a good incentive, isn't it? It's a good price, £25. So if you think it's around the price of whatever your first clean's going to be, but then you've got them for the rest of the year and onward going, it's good, isn't it? And it's going to build your roundup. And again, if they then refer, like I say, it's getting your work all compact, which is good. That's a good idea, that. Chris saying, please join tonight. Thank you. Have a great week. No worries, Chris. Thanks for joining in, mate. Welcome anytime. Right, Angus saying, sorry, mate. I was meaning my own window cleaning management app. Right, I got you. Wow. I've often thought about that, but I'm not that clever. That'd be interesting, mate. Even if it's something you just use yourself, innit? But once you tested it enough, it's something you could build on as well, innit? That'd be really interesting. I think it's cool. I thought it was cool that you can make websites really easy now, but I did it the old way. Well, brought a template. I've got Dreamweaver. I'm trying to make me website better because it was never really completed. Amongst juggling all the other things and window cleaning, admin, and all the stuff you have to do at night, there's not enough hours in a day, is it? Like I say, never switch off, but keeps you busy. No worries, Ched, mate. Mark says he's toying with the idea of giving customers a discount if they pay annually. I think Matt spoke to his accountant about this as well and said that's all right. Like they pay 10 or 11 cleans and they get a free clean. Yeah, so there's every month. Basically, just pay for 11 months, get the 12th month free, that sort of thing. I think Matt's idea where he's spoken to the accountant just to check that it wasn't going into the boundaries of finance. Because basically all you're doing is they're paying a lump sum, but then they've divided it. I think. I can't remember how Matt done it. Or they're paying in advance, but it's not credit. I don't know. Ask Matt. He done away with the accountant, and there is a way of doing it. It's something I'd kind of thought of, because then you've like got a year's worth of money, haven't you? But the only thing I didn't like about that idea was you get behind. Because like I say, I'm 4 weekly or 8 weekly, but through the year you'll be amazed how much time you lose. Like with bank holidays, like I said, I had to wait 2 days not working because the part, even though I asked for it, was the wrong size, so I had to reorder it. But I took my machine apart, so I couldn't make water, and I lost 2 days waiting for that to turn up. Then the days where you get weathered off. So it probably would turn to about 10 cleans in a year instead of 12 anyway. And then if they're paid for 12. But I mean, I do get some customers that just give me, yeah, Rob, I'll pay this many amount of cleans. And then they're often surprised because in their head saying, oh, June it's going to run out. And I'm like, no, you got 2 more cleans. They look at me funny and I'm like, yeah, it's because of the weather and that I'm a bit behind. So you still got another 2 cleans credit. But people just trust you. And some of them just, not everyone. So some people like to do it that way. But I get where you're coming from. Chez just asking you, Mark, what was your quick method? I have a text file and copy paste into text and add the name manually. Yeah, I used to use notes on my phone, just copy and paste and then change the name to the customer, send. But it's so easy in Squeegee. You honestly just press one button, sends it out. And also in Squeegee, do scheduled messages, because that's what I keep saying to my wife. Why don't you lunchtime for the next day? Just click all you're going to send reminder, schedule for 5, and that way when you're cooking tea, you ain't got to think, have I sent the messages or not? It just happens automatically. So you can also set them to schedule off at a set time. Nellie's saying we connect a phone to the PC every evening and text everyone in one go. Yeah, what's the other one I used to use? On the computer there was something where you could send loads of text messages and it was like a penny a text or something, or less than that, I can't remember. But I use Squeegee. I like it. I'm so used to it now, I wouldn't use anything else. But yeah, I think there's a couple of bits that need improving. I don't think they're fully live yet. It's interesting using audiences. I like the pay rise feature, so I know going forward now, got everyone, we've just said everyone's the same now. So next time I'll just go up 5% and round it up to the nearest pounds, and that'll just go to everyone across the board. And then you set the date you want it to take place on as well. It does all that for you and send the messages out. So I found it a good feature. Right, Mark's just saying, Ched, yeah, that's the way to do it. Oh, you've got it. Matt's saying, Ched, I have a general message you send, doesn't have their name, but does have a link to leave a review. Yeah, I've got on all me invoices, leave us a review, and it's been working. For those of you who've probably, say just started, but you've been going a year, so you've not really just started, have you? You've got a lot of stuff under your belt, really, when you think about it. But if you haven't done so already, definitely get a Google business page. That's a massive thing that help you go up in the rankings. So you can go up there and rank on Google with your business page, and then also you're going to be ranking with your website, and then you're probably Facebook will rank. So you've got 3 different places you can rank for. Ched saying, been using Dreamweaver for 20 years. I haven't done that yet, Ched. I'd use Gemini for reviewing your pages. Yeah, I will give that a try, mate. I had a break from Dreamweaver and I was doing it through Brackets, but then I wanted to go back through Dreamweaver because I just like it. And then with Photoshop, they integrate. I just like that anyway. So top tip, cheers, Ched. All right, John. It's just saying, if I was a customer, I would not pay in advance. That means the window cleaner may cut larger corners than normal because the pressure's off. Yeah, so there is that thought too. Everyone thinks differently, don't they? And I know the majority of us in here would probably think the opposite. But then it could be a hindrance with you as well. But yeah, you do. Some customers might think that a bit suspect as well. Then, like I said, during the year, it's amazing how many days you actually lose and how many weeks you get behind. Matt's saying he has one customer who's 5 cleans in front with a payment. Yeah, I have one. He normally gives me enough money to cover 6 months. He just gives me the money and I just give him a running countdown. That's why in his head he thinks it's been 6 months, and I'll be like, no, you've still got 2 cleans to go, and I have to explain it's bank holidays, the weather, and he kind of just laughs. There's nice people trust you. Nelly, Ched's just asking you a question, mate. With your connecting your phone to your PC. All right. 100% go cardless. Some customers pay extra £10 or £15 per month, and we keep their gutters, fascia, soffits clean all year round. Got you. So kind of like paying that off, I suppose. I get some customers when they send me a bank transfer, it's more money than what I was charging. So they'll put that in squeegee. So I'm like, oh, your £3 in credit comes off your next clean, or 5 or whatever it is. And then they're like, no, that was for you. So, because I'm honest. And then I kind of laugh. So they're just saying, if you ever see a payment and it's more than what you asked for, that's because it's a tip. So I've had to work out how to add that on as a tip for 0 from my bookkeeping. So the accountant, so it doesn't go through, you know what I mean, the sales. So it's nice that people do that for you as well. Just probably shows as well I'm still underpriced. Just saying need to add a review link, but just increased prices, so holding off. Yeah, fair one to ask for reviews. Give it a couple of months and then chuck them on there. Ah, there you go, Ched. DEX, Dex for Android. Bet a few people interested to know that as well. Sorry, just going to have a drink. Is anyone else who's got squeegee, get soapy, cleaner planner? I'm sure there's others out there. Probably good old-fashioned notebook and pen, but I like squeegee just because phone's always in my pocket. Customer asks me a question, I just whip this out, and because I know squeegee, I can answer them quite quickly. or like when people say roughly when you're next due round, that sort of thing. I can tell them straight away. So I do like squeegee. It's just, you know, when you go on their training page, it says under development, things like that. I think more complicated they make it for the customer as well. More might put off, like that portal. I know some of the customers, it'll blow their mind, but I like the idea they don't have to ask me. They can look up when their next clean is, that sort of thing, on their payment histories. So I didn't see these comments. Matt's just saying, Ched, someone left me a review and said it was a reasonable price. That night I did the price increase. He thought it was funny. That's a good thing though, isn't it? About, because you've got a rapport with your customers, you can have that sort of like giggle between each other. You know what I mean? But people will pay. They just want the windows cleaned. That's the way I look at it. And they want you to come round when you say you're going to come round. They understand you might be a couple of days late because of the weather and things like that. As long as it doesn't look like you just come and go as you please, you're polite and do a good job, it goes a hell of a long way. It's nice because everyone puts up a barrier, don't they, and talk different when you don't know each other. But when you've known your customers a while and you go and talk to them, all that kind of drops. It's just easy to get on with each other. I think that's where I'd be worried about if I was to go in a second van, is I think a lot of my customers want to see me, if that makes sense. So if they always saw me sons, they'd be a bit put out. So that's why I thought if I had two vans, we'd have different rounds, and then the next month we'd have to swap vans on those rounds to make it fair, so the customers eventually get to see me, and as well as my sons get to see everyone else as well. And I find if you did it that way, at least everyone knows all the cleans we do, rather than you end up going to something you don't know because you've got the little quirks that goes with the property, or the gate's got a special way of opening, that sort of thing. Yeah, do I get a second van? I don't know. Like I say, I'm having to turn people away at the moment, unless it's one we can squeeze in, or it's really close. And I know like we're going to lose a customer, I'd start taking one on because I know they're going to be moving soon, that sort of thing. And it's in the area. It's just horrible saying no when you spent so long saying yes all the time, isn't it? But it's a nice problem to have. I've always said to my wife, if I get another van, I'm not scared about it not getting filled with work. And I think trying to get enough work to run a second van before you get the second van is not going to work, because you cannot do all that. And I've often said to my wife, forget a second van, Matthew driving it. Even if we don't take more customers on, it just means we could both be home earlier. So it's a good life-work balance, and that's probably then going to be a good investment anyway, isn't it? But it's building up the money to get it. Ched's just saying everything you see says two people in your van don't do twice as much work as one per, which is true. And yeah, you watch all the podcasts and that, everyone's saying that, because the pack up and well, that's what I've said to my son, the packing up and the setting up is going to be exactly the same, unless someone's a bit slow. It's just the actual job is a little bit faster, so you're not going to be 50% faster. But what I will say, it is nice working with my son, Matthew. It's company, and people like to see us working as a family as well, especially when Sophie was with us. They think it's great. But what is handy is when it's them jobs where it's multiple. Someone could be cleaning gutters while one person's cleaning the fascia soffits and gutters. Two things are going on, and then you're like packing away, tidying up. It speeds the bigger jobs up rather than being on your own. But for your window cleaning, you are probably better off one person in the van. I think even the big companies, the big guys, are doing that for that reason as well. Ched's right there. Mark's just saying that's why I changed to 5 weekly, so I can keep taking on more work. So instead of being 4, you've increased to 5. Yeah, Phil's saying the hardest jump is going from one van up to 2 vans. I can well believe that. Neil's just saying you're in a good position employing your lad. If your work drops off, you can both go in one van. If work picks up, you can go in separate vans. Yeah. And my van is 2014. So is that... Bloody hell, it's 11 years old. Yeah, it's 2014, so it's 11 years old. It has got a new engine in it. And my mate, the mechanic, says, look, keep servicing it, it'll keep going. Because I'm waiting for things to go wrong with it. And that's what I've said to my wife. Maybe start looking for another van. And then put a big tank in it. So 2 people can work from it. And then while my actual van is still going, could use that for the gutter days. And then I was thinking if my other son was to join on. Because you never know what's going to happen. But if he's desperate for a job and can't get one, I say, well, come on in, we'll build you up and build your wages up. Living at home, just got to walk out of the house and in the van, you're off to work. Them 2 could go out window cleaning, and then any big jobs come in, like the gutter days. Instead of a gutter day, I can just do 1 job a day, but it means I could do them all through the busy summer period whilst the window cleaning is going on, rather than we're having to move a day in the schedule to make a day to do all the gutter clears. So you're not actually making money, we're just getting the jobs in, because a lot of the customers use us annually for that. So it means it's happening concurrent with the window cleaning, and then they can be boosting money, which will help increase his wages, I suppose. And then when the small vans had it, would just overcome that problem, I suppose. Or if I did pressure washing, that's something I was thinking we could do in one van while the window cleaning's 2 lads in the other van, that sort of thing. I don't know. It's just toying with different ideas at the moment. But just trying to pay things off, I suppose. Make yourself better off anyway, first off. Yeah, danger is the VAT threshold, but like people are saying, you're going to smash it and you go over it. You might as well smash it, haven't you? Is it 90,000? So you want at least 120,000 to smash it by. So if you're close to going over it, got to go for it big. Just depends where you want to take your business, I suppose, isn't it? I mean, I'd love to have it. It's just family, but everyone's drawing a wage as well as a pension out of it. That's what I would love. But I think you've really got to charge good money to have that and work really fast, maybe. But that is definitely something to think about. So are you better off just hovering underneath it or smashing it? Ched's saying 2 vans, you wouldn't need to go home to top up. Yeah, that's what I also said. I could have another. If I had another van set up exactly the same as I've got, it still doesn't matter if one's in the garage, because we've worked that way before. We know then 2 of us can go in there, spare water, running to get home in the summer, that sort of thing. We can still push through it till the other van's fixed. So saying get a smaller van like a partner with a 400 litre tank, 2 pumps just in case. Yeah. So I was thinking get one exactly similar to what I've got, short wheel based, set up the same. So at least if whatever van's in the garage, the other one, we can work out of that one van like we've done before if we need to. And till we get both vans on the road. That's another thing I thought of. I like things to be flexible and versatile. I suppose that's the military thing, innit? You just do what you got, make it happen. Neil's just saying, get the new van and your lad can have the old one. Thing is, I'd like the old van. He can have the newer one. That old van sort of like means something. Used to have a dog when I first started, and when it's not too hot days, he used to come out with me because he's old, diabetic, blind. Just good company, so I'd like to keep hold of that van for as long as possible. So yeah, they'd have the newer one, but it doesn't have to be a new van, does it? It's just got to be a second-hand van to put the kit in. It's a work van. That's one thing I'm thinking of doing, is getting Matthew insured. Ched's mentioned it before, and then I'll have days where he's driving and kind of get him used to it. Matt's just saying don't need to buy the second van outright, but I think what I would do is buy one outright, like an ex-rental van, something like that. So it's all paid for, all done. John saying, ain't being funny, I live in a large city with an underground and bicycle paths. You could get away with an e-bike or moped. I've seen somewhere local to me where there's a guy on a bike with a little trailer behind him, and that's what he does. And like you say, it gets you about in a place where you're too busy to keep driving, and you pick the right houses that you can do with it. It's more than doable, isn't it? Especially you're going to pick local to your house as well. So again, you think of the old days where people had trad carrying ladders. They weren't going to carry miles, were they? Just did a whole street and then cross over and did the other side coming back. Does anyone do that then, do they, John? You must have seen someone doing it. It's like peddling pizza, isn't it? When he started with a bike and that little trailer he had going to the market, and then look at where he is now. And he just really enjoyed doing it. Trad work, mainly apartments. It's like, does anyone listen to podcasts? WCR Nation? I think he's been doing it for a long time. Been listening to a lot of them lately. And it's interesting. Obviously, American window cleaning, like they call route, which would just be shop fronts. I think he's saying like $2 a window, whereas obviously it's like $10 a window, more than that probably on residential. But he's saying if you get the right work done, you can make a lot of money doing the $2 windows, because all you're doing really is cleaning the glass, because you clean it every 2 weeks, it's already clean. So you're doing what you're doing fast, even though it's less money, but that's what they'll pay. But if you get all your work close to each other, you can actually bang a lot out, because you just repeat in that day and do well. Now, it's just interesting, all the different ways things can be done and the different thoughts and thinking process behind it. Neil's just saying we use low mileage ex-BT vans, and you've been using them for 6 to 8 years, and then you replace them. Do see a lot of ex-BT or gas vans about as well, don't you? That's a good idea. Phil's saying we purchased a 2016 Vivaro 50k on the clock, 7.5 grand plus VAT. Great value vans in my opinion. Yeah, that's the sort of thing I'd go, like ex-rental or something like that. They just keep going. I mean, my van, God, I'm going to shock everyone now. I think it's just done over 178,000 miles, but bear in mind 2 or 3 years ago, I can't remember exactly, it's had a new engine put in it. I've reconditioned one that cost me, I think it was 4 grand and fitted, but it's back on the road and missed a beat. And like I said, every time I get it, I'll ask my mate, can you look at it and tell me how much longer I've got left? He said it's all fine. It passed its last MOT as well without even any advisories, which is the first. Even he was laughing. But yeah, that sort of thing's good. There's a guy I clean as well. He does banger racing. His son does NESCAR. They're fixing up. They're good with cars and stuff. And he was looking at getting vans, ex-rental vans, does them up and then sells them on. So I know I could probably go and see him and get a deal off him if I wanted to. Matt's just saying streamline, do some electric thing for city work. I just know, speaking to my customers, say a lot of the tradesmen moan about their electric vans. I think I said it on here before. They've sort of like said they run out of juice for them to get home, and then people coming out to them, it's a nightmare because they can't just jump start them, or the bigger problems than a normal car. So what these workmen have said, you have to get a lockup, and what I do is I drive to the lockup, get the kit that I need for that job, go to the job, come back and repeat. So that way they can drive home. But obviously it's going to come at some point where we've got to go electric, but hopefully things are a lot better. I suppose the electric vans look good for city work as well, because I'm sure the laws are going to get tighter on what comes out your exhaust in them sort of areas, isn't it? If you keep your eyes out, I'm sure you'll find a ready kitted out van cheap. I've already seen stuff going on Facebook. You see a lot of like pressure washing stuff go in from people, not let's say failed businesses, but circumstances, or they've gone a different direction and getting good deals. And like you say, they'll be there with the window cleaning as well. So yours was the same price as an empty van, but with a system in it all fitted. Mint. John's saying, who's opting for diesel and who's opting for petrol vans? That's a good question. Mine's diesel. I have often thought a petrol van would be better than diesel, just because I believe diesels are good for like your long runs on your motorway, but stop start I think takes it out more than if you had a petrol one, I believe. So I think petrol will be better at stop start, and diesel will be good for the old motorway runs. So Mark's saying you'd get a petrol van if possible next time. Would it be for that reason as well, would it, Mark? Matt's saying it's not an electric van. Oh, it's more like a bike with a tank. Right, got you, mate, sorry. So yeah, there is probably a market for that sort of thing, isn't there? And it will attract attention, won't it, as well? So yeah, so Mark's saying diesel engines are not good for short stopping jobs. Like I said, stop start. So if you've got compact round, basically you want petrol, don't you? Hi Gary, you alright mate? Ched's saying I'd go for an electric next. Range is not, yeah, because you've got your stuff really local. Quite fun, isn't it? Sometimes you're cleaning windows and you hear electric car go past. And it kind of like sounds like a scene out of flipping Star Trek Generation or something like that. Some kind of UFO or spaceships coming past. Yeah, your DPF filter. They cause a lot of issues. Warning lights on my van used to go off like mad, but he's done something about that. So I don't get that problem anymore. We get it in our car because it's short distances. Then we have to go and take it for a ride up and down a motorway, but the motorway is not right next door to us. So it's sort of like, I've forgotten what word it is, but it just burns it all off. Neil's just saying I fitted some pole holders into an electric van a few weeks ago. He had a 600 litre tank in the back and was complaining about having to recharge it on the way home. It was only 70 miles from home. Yeah. It's not just the weight of the tank, is it? It's the weight of the person, the batteries of the vehicle, and then all the other kit like your ladders and whatnot. It's the total weight. I think it depends. You've got your radio on, the electric windows, all sorts of stuff, isn't it? And I think they advertise it as the range being brilliant, but that's like probably without anything actually running and it's completely empty. So I don't think it's quite there yet for the old electric vans. Sorry, Gary's just saying payload capacities are useless and the range just can't handle the loads. Yeah, and that's what I've heard through me customers from having workmen come around their houses and they're moaning about when they've got the electric vans. So I think all the workmen hate them. I've noticed when I stop off in Morrison's to use the toilets and then I'll have my lunch break in the car park, they got the electric bits there. I always thought they'd be customers, but you see most of them are electric vans and workmen are just sat there waiting for this to get charged. So imagine they can only do so many jobs a day. How many jobs do they lose in a day because they're having to recharge the van? And they're paying for that in the car park in the supermarket. So it's probably going to do, you know what I mean? And then if the workmen or the companies can't get all the work done because they've got these electric vans, all they're going to do is put the price of everything up to make for that. So it's going to drive the prices up of everything else. Hopefully help us put the price of windows up then. But yeah, it does make you wonder. Right, has anyone else got any questions or anything to do? Because I'll start thinking about drawing it for a close. I'm not going to rush off straight away. There's a bit of a delay from when you put stuff in the comments for me to see it on here. But I didn't send any messages out tonight for tomorrow. I'm going to have the day off because my muscles in my back I think are just gone. So it enabled me to do a bit more work on other stuff. Hopefully my back will be alright. Oh, yeah, and another buy I got, sorry, before I go on, I'll just get to Neil's comment. Just saying about the workman, he was telling you he was charged £35 to charge at a service station and he still had that problem. Wow. I got ages ago, I phoned X-Line up, so rather than buying the nozzle from DA Components, this is not long after I started, so I went back to X-Line and just said, have you got a soft wash nozzle? They said yes. So they sent me one, but it's different to DA Components. But basically it just fits straight in the end of my pole and the gooseneck. Push fit, so I just push my pole hose straight into there like you do on the new Gardener's goosenecks. And then it had a green nozzle in there. But when I was using from a backpack, so I got it to apply biocide when I was doing someone's roof, it wasn't coming out really good. But then I've later found out for that nozzle, it has to be a pump above 3.8 litres a minute. So Gardener's backpack wasn't that. So that was a problem. But from DA Components for their nozzle, I bought the nozzles that go with his sprayer and they fit because they're soft wash nozzles. So I bought the grey one, which is 25-degree jet, and the lime green one, that's 65-degree jet. They work fine off the backpack ones. So I bought two of them and I've put the grey one into my soft wash nozzle that I brought off X-Line. I've kept the green one, and yeah, it's brilliant at spraying it. So rather than doing that one you saw in my last video where I used something I brought from Gardeners ages ago, I've got this, so it's a lot better. And then I've got the 65-degree jet, so it's a bit wider, and I'll use that for the cladding, and I use the grey one because it's a bit thinner for all the fascia softs and gutters. And now I've got the micro brush, so life should be a lot easier there. So yeah, I'm happy with them. And then I had to go out and buy a spanner, 14mm spanner with a ratchet bit in there to change the nozzles. So that's always permanently in the van. So I just come back to the comments. Mark saying, hope you all had a good week, or have a good week. I'll get footage of the filter for Matt after work tomorrow. Ted saying fast charger will do 70 kilowatts per hour, so probably over 100 miles in range for one of the vans with full payload, but the cost is about 50 quid to charge up and only £3 at home. Looks like everyone would be doing half days then if we had these electric vans, wouldn't it? Then, like I say, imagine the prices you'd have to charge for your services then, because you can only work half a day, but the cost of living and all that. No worries, Craig, mate. Thanks for joining in. Join in anytime. Everyone here is great. Yeah, have a great week. Ched. Cheers, yeah. Spray pole's better, mate. I was obviously doing it all wrong before and I tried that, and I just preferred using the bucket. But yeah, I'm going to use my Gardener's backpack as a permanent spray, and I've got another one. I've just got to get that working. I have brought another spare actually from Gardeners, the flow control. I'm going to try that. So that's probably something I'll be doing tomorrow, stripping that down, trying to work out what's wrong. Fair one, Neil. Yeah, why not just use a brush with fan jets to apply chemicals and scrub at the same time? Saves messing around swapping the spray and nozzle. That is something I can do with the micro brush because it's got two 50-degree fan jets. So that is something I had thought about as well. But I think what I'm going to do is just use my sprayer, just using that to spray on, because that's coming from the Gardener's backpack. And then next to me I'm going to have my water fed pole, and then I'll just use that and with pure water. Thing is, it's just playing around, isn't it, to find what suits you. But that is something I had thought of as well, because I've noticed that's what other guys do. Has anyone got any other questions? I've just heard it raining outside as well, so I don't want to check the weather tomorrow. The wind doesn't look too bad. There's no rain. But what's forecast and what happens are two different things. And because I think what Ched said, I'll have to check what Tuesday's going to be like. But this month was supposed to be absolutely really good for me in terms of money. Got in there, yeah. I'll give it a go. Like I say, on that micro brush, I've got it with 250-degree fan jets. That would make sense. So yeah, it's pushing up to nearly 9,000's worth of work, but you always get your cancels and skips that come in there, and I'm already going to lose a day because tomorrow. It's nice to have that buffer in it. There'll probably be more kit I need to replace. I know I need to replace my first section and my second section of my Nano. Still a bit of life in it, but I would like to change them. But obviously, I'm going to wait till I've got enough profit to do that rather than just do it. Because you never know what's around the corner, do you? Right, guys, that's it from me. Thanks for everyone for joining in. Yeah, it was interesting. Time's gone so quick as well. Not yet, Gary, but it's probably likely in 12 months that I could be going over it. It just depends. Like I said, the usual things that go against you, where the weather, my back, or the van's off the road might just hold me below it, but who knows? It's something I've got to keep an eye on. I mean, last month I was supposed to have been 8,000 and ended up with 6.5 because obviously the bank holidays and losing 2 days as well. And I've spent some money because the new membrane and resin I had to get. At least I had the money to get that rather than putting it on the old credit card. So it'll be interesting to see how this month in terms of money ends up being after a whole month, if that makes sense. Neil's just saying go flat rate, passing on 10% to the customers this time, then 20% the following year. Yeah, is it 12% or was it 10? I can't remember. Was it 8%? Oh no, yeah, it could have been 8%. It's now gone up to 10, something like that. I don't know. The accountants will be all over it. I will do, Gary, thanks. Like I say, I'll just see how I think these 12 months go from April. But it's what Squeezy's forecasting to me anyway. But I do know I lose days here and there. That tends to put me under. But with all the price rises and that, I think we're like maxed out. 12 is 12%. I couldn't remember what you said before. Like 12%, the government keep 8. Got you. But charge 20. Yeah. I suppose if it's going to happen, you've got to push past it, go big, ain't you? That's when I suppose you could start thinking of other services, but I think it's just busy on the windows. And that's your bread and butter, innit? It's got to come first. Like I said, or get a second van. I suppose it depends on my younger son. He's just turned 18. He's in his last year in sixth form. He's done plumbing and he's done electrical so he can be an apprenticeship, but he's failed his GCSE resits. So it depends what his result will be. If he's failed it, that's what I've said to him, you can't get your apprenticeship. Then think about what you need to do, or you're going to have to pay to go to school to get your GCSE. See, you might need to work. It could be easy just to come out. He helps me on jobs anyway, but he could come out, and it's up to him. And that's what I say, you can build it up to what you want. But I'd like them to have a decent wage. They need to, and a pension out of it. That's what I'd love. But it's just building up. It's going to be a long slog. But I suppose if it's there, and then when I'm a really old fart, I'll just be the one going out, keeping everyone sweet. And there's been little mistakes here and there, or just make an excuse there is to get out and have a chat with someone. Who knows? It's all exciting, isn't it? You never know. And you hear all these stories people do and how they built up, got things going. It is interesting. thought I just in a comment, Gary's just saying pension is this thing everyone forgets about to put aside. Yeah. Just got to really sit down, haven't you, and work out. Like got me to do everything you need to cover with your money to get your pricing right, so it can cover all these things. Because it is a business you're doing. It's not just scrimping to get by, is it? Things go wrong. But yeah, you need a pension, because otherwise when you get older, what the hell have you got? You just have to rely on my health, and I'll be working till the day I die, sort of thing. Yeah, just seeing if David can get into plumbing rather than an electrician. People love a new bathroom but hate getting rewire. I know my dad's always said about plumbing as well. You find yourself in some awkward positions under baths and things like that. So it's all right probably while he's slim. Becomes a window cleaner, he won't be slim. Don't know about you lot, but I seem to be getting a bit old fat around the old midriff. I've noticed that on the YouTube videos, but I don't know why. Just an age catching up, I think. See you, Neil, mate. Have a good week. Yeah, I'm going to close it as well. Thanks everyone for joining in. Really appreciate it. And yeah, great to help everyone out as well. So thanks everyone. Ooh, where am I going? All these buttons. Right, so I've just sent a message out saying thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. Yeah, it is called old age, mate. You're right there, Neil. It's just accepting it, innit? That'd be my excuse to push the kids out a bit more, if you get what I mean. Play that. You're gonna have to lift that for me to get that window. Cheers, Gary. You take care, mate. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.